Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Techy Tip Tuesdays. We're live, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of reviews and different places you can get them, and just the importance of that in general. I might be looking down a little bit just because I got my notes, and yeah, we're going to be watching a cool video just so you can kind of see with technology what we have access to. Today is going to be a little bit different. Normally, I am showing you things on what I'm doing on the computer, but today we're just mostly just going to be talking about the different aspects of it, things that you should be thinking about. We have a really cool video that will show you a little bit behind the scenes of the technology that we now have access to with AI and just software that helps us manage that. And then we also have somebody here that's been doing reviews for a long time that I'm partnering with. So she'll talk about anything that, I may have missed or anything that you need to know, and just introduce herself and all those good things. So wanted to talk about just the importance of reviews. So as you know, like when you're shopping on Amazon, when you're Googling a service like an electrician, a plumber, anybody that you're going to trust to be in your home, or really anyone that you're giving your money to, you're going to look at reviews. You want to see, do they have a 5-star, at least a 4-star rating? What is their reviews compared to their competitors? If they did get a bad review, did they respond to it? We're kind of nosy and we look at all those different things. And so you want to take that into consideration, for your industry. It's going to be a little bit different. If you're a home services, there's more than just Google where you need to get reviews, like Yelp and Angie's List. There could be other things, Facebook. There's lots of different places that you might not be aware that people are leaving you reviews. So that's also where, getting a review audit could really come in handy. So that way you know what your strategy should be and what the focus is. And then I also want to talk about the pain of getting reviews. I think so many of us don't ask for them because we're busy business owners. We don't want to have to make the time for it. And so we're doing business with people and we're providing great services, but then we're forgetting to go and just ask, whether that's by text message, email. There's so many ways. But if you're not getting them and capturing them, especially right after you perform whatever amazing service you did for them, they're a lot less likely to give you that review. So if you can have this process just on autopilot, it's going to be so much better for you. But if you are doing it yourself, I always like to give tips. If you do want to do it yourself, just create a system for that. Put it on your calendar. If they leave a review, you want to respond to every single review, because Google wants to know that you're available for the people that they're recommending to perform the service that you do. And then, yeah, so hopefully that's making sense so far. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll watch that video. And then I have a few more things to just add of some different tips. And yeah, we'll just move forward. So let me share my screen. And watch this video. Watch a video.
The first requirement for growing a business online is visibility. And the quickest way to gain exposure and traffic is to improve your online reputation. Search engines like Google favor businesses that receive a steady flow of positive reviews, and our platform makes requesting reviews quicker and easier than ever. With just a few taps, you can text a review request to your customers, and as new reviews get posted, they get pulled right back into the conversation stream where you can read and reply. And now, with Review Reply AI, you can have artificial intelligence reply to your reviews for you, ensuring that every customer review gets a prompt and professional reply. In addition to generating web traffic, reviews can be a powerful form of social proof when displayed on your website. Our automated review widget will pull in your latest reviews and display them in the configuration of your choice, providing your website visitors with user-generated confirmation that you're the business to go with. We can also turn all of your best reviews into beautiful pieces of social media content that automatically get posted, creating more social proof across all your social channels. Ready to generate more traffic, more reviews, and more customers? Get started today.
All right, so as you can see, the technology that Keeley and I have access to, it can do some pretty cool things. I will be putting this link in the description if you're watching the replay on YouTube. So if you do want an audit, I'm happy to provide that for you. But yeah, something else that's really cool, so you can text to ask for reviews, get that set up for you. We do email, and then another cool thing, even with like QuickBooks Online, if you're sending invoices there, you can actually integrate and it will ask for reviews. So I'm really excited just about like the technology aspect, and it's always changing. So we're keeping up with that. And yeah, it's hopefully you enjoyed that video. And I think that's about all I have. Keely, do you have anything to add? Oh, and
Yeah,
please
so
introduce yourself. Sorry.
yeah, hey, I'm Keeley, and yeah, I've been working as a marketing specialist, mostly focused on Facebook advertising, but in the last year I started doing reputation management when I realized most businesses, it was kind of like a hole in the marketplace where businesses want to get positive feedback, but they don't know how to get their customers to actually take action. And what happens is that a unhappy customer is more likely to leave feedback than a happy customer. And so all it takes is that one negative comment to cause kind of a landslide of bad reputation on Google. And when that happens, then your rankings start going down and you end up sacrificing a lot of potential clients to your competition. And so we started focusing on that. And what I found is that through that technology in the video that Rebecca showed, you can not only get more positive reviews, but you can also kind of impede any negative reviews. So what we do is we set up like a widget of sorts where you ask for it prompts the past customer to leave feedback, but they can choose either I had a great experience or I had a bad experience. And when they select I had a bad experience, a pop-up form appears and they can leave their comment. They can still click through to leave the feedback on a public facing platform like Facebook or Yelp or Google. But what happens is most people just want to vent one time. So they leave their negative comment, they say what they're going to say, and then when they're prompted to go again, they have to write it all over again. And most of the time they don't. Most of the time they said it one time and that's it. And then you get that feedback and you can remedy it. So this actually happened to my mom. She was a painting contractor, and she was my first guinea pig client for this service. And we sent out about 200 emails to all of her past clients. And one guy left a negative remark, and he was angry because my mom hadn't called him back on an estimate. But what had happened, it was a period of time when my grandma had died and my mom she was not answering phone calls or anything. And so we were able to say, hey, I'm really sorry that happened to you. My mom was going through a difficult time and she wasn't able to return calls right then. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry I said anything. And that was that. Didn't get put on Google, didn't create this whole drama. We were able to remedy it and move forward. So it's really cool. What's also really cool is like that video showed, you're able to not only use that feedback on Google or Facebook or wherever the testimonial was left, but you can amplify it by putting it all over your socials. You can use it on your website, you can put it on all your other socials, and then helps it be even more impactful. And the last comment I'll make is that consumers have been trained, I love trained, right? They've been conditioned to look at testimonials as if they are like feedback from a friend or a referral from a friend. And this kind of started happening with eBay. eBay started like 10, 15 years ago. And when you had you would look at the seller store and you would see what kind of feedback they have, and you wouldn't buy from anyone that had feedback of less than like 95% positive rating or whatever. So eBay started it, and then Amazon, and then all these other platforms started modeling this rating-based tool to be able to demonstrate that their products and services are worthwhile. And so now we, as consumers, first thing we do when we go to Amazon, we read through all the reviews. And okay, one more thing that's happened, and this is something that directly is like with local SEO, the stuff that Rebecca does, is Google used to rank based on the quantity of reviews that you have to your business listing. But what has happened is because a bunch of people were paying for bots and spammy reviews, Google started saying, hey, reviews are important, but frequency of reviews, the quality of what's being said, and a bunch of other things go into how they rank based on those reviews. So it's not just the quantity. Like anyone can go out and buy a bunch of followers on social media. Anyone can go buy a bunch of reviews for their Google posting, but you really have to be authentic about it now. And that's what this type of service and this type of workflow really does. So I hope that was a wealth of knowledge.
No, that was really good. So yeah, so it's kind of like with SEO, it's not about like one time you do it, it's about consistency. So
Yeah,
that's like
because
you want to be requesting them every month, every once a week, or like have a
yeah,
flow and not just like once a year or once every 5 years.
yeah, a lot of businesses, when they start their profile, they'll go out and be like, hey, friend, hey, brother, hey, mom, like, leave me a review. So you have a bunch of reviews from the time they started their profile. Or maybe they see a video like this training right here and they get inspired and they go out and get a bunch of them. But business owners are busy. They don't have time. And they also, it's not in their wheelhouse to set up workflows for this and have it all automated. Like, that's what nerds like us do. And so yeah, it's something you have to make it a habit, because also if you flood like I had a client hired me for this and she had 500 past clients in the last 18 months. And we sent out the emails, we were trying to do it slow, but Google said, hey, you're getting reviews too quickly. We don't like that. We think you're trying to use a bot. And some of the reviews were getting repressed. Suppressed, repressed, repressed. So they weren't getting posted. She was getting upset about that. I was like, sorry, your customers are really happy and you're getting too many reviews at once. So we had to slow down the process a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good question. I get asked that a lot is what happens if it doesn't post to your Google account? Do you see that a lot, or is there other ways to go around it?
It can be Google is kind of its own weird monster. Like it's very finicky, just like Facebook ads are, where yeah, if it doesn't get posted, it could be because that user's account has a bad reputation in Google. It could be because you've gotten too many reviews at the same time. It could be that that user didn't submit it properly. We see that a lot too, because Google, it's simple, but sometimes people think they've submitted it or they didn't have good enough Wi-Fi and it didn't actually go through. There's been cases where people try to post it multiple times and it never properly posted. And in that case, I always tell people just go on Facebook or go to another platform and leave a review there. Because like with this service, you'll still be able to draw it and use it on other platforms. You can still take a Facebook testimonial and post it as a Google profile post. You could still take it from Google and put it on Facebook. Like you can still advertise those reviews.
Nice. I like that. And then I think the other question that I get, or like people are afraid of, and I don't know if you'll have a different answer than I give them, but if they're like, they freak out when they get a bad negative review, how do you handle that?
So again, like you can't avoid it. Like it just sometimes it's going to happen. And so you have to kind of put yourself in the consumer's like spot. So if you go and you see negative feedback, what are you going to do? You're going to read the negative feedback and then you're going to read the response from the business. And so if you make a nice response and you say, hey, I'm really sorry this first you acknowledge it and you validate. You don't ever say something like, oh, that didn't happen, you're lying, right? You have to validate it and say, I'm really sorry that you had that experience. We strive, right? Mission, we strive to provide excellent service for all of our customers. We'd like to make it right. If you'd like to give us a call, we'll do everything we can to make it right. Right? You like try to get back in touch with them and you be super genuine about it. Because if I saw, someone posts a nasty review about the food quality of a restaurant, and the restaurant says, hey, I'll offer you a 10% discount or your next meal's on us or something, just contact us and we'll make it right. I'm like, wow, they actually care about the customers. They're really trying. Versus if they get defensive or don't reply at all. Then it'll be like, oh, well, they don't even care. They're not even looking.
Yeah,
So
people want to feel heard.
Your response has the ability to not only remedy it, but to make it actually a benefit to your business by proving how good your customer service is and how much you care.
Yeah, I like the example you gave of your mom too, where it's like I think people don't always realize that it's a human on the other side of that business, and you just feel
Uh-huh.
like you're so upset at how you were treated and you take it so personally. And
Yeah.
then yeah, to find out what was going on, it can really change your perspective. And it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad, or I'll give them another chance and I don't need to leave a 1-star review.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. The best thing you can do is set up a system to try to impede, like to remedy the situation and impede those from getting posted. That's the best thing you can do. A system like, what we offer is set up something like that. And if you happen to get negative reviews, just respond to them. Heartfelt, do your best to communicate that you care. And that's the best because sometimes I'll see reviews and the owner gets defensive and then I'm like, get the popcorn, we're watching some drama.
So true. Yeah, and then I think the only other thing that to mention is if you have a bad review and you only have 1 or 3 reviews, that's going to hurt you and make you look really bad. But if you've been consistent for 5 years and you've been getting reviews and you've got hundreds of them, when you get one, it's not going to tank your whole 5-star rating. It's not going to be as bad. So,
Exactly. Yeah, you really have to just invest the time and realize that the more positive reviews you get, having something negative, and the likelihood of someone leaving a 1-star is pretty low unless something really bad happens. But typically you get a 4-star or a 3-star, and that's not going to affect your rating as long as you have enough 5-star reviews.
awesome. Yeah, I love it. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you wanted to add?
Not that comes to mind. I feel like I techno babbled enough stuff on everybody. And I appreciate you letting me do this. My boyfriend is a dentist and he's here checking a patient for one of his friendly competitors. And so I just happened to be in a spot where I could pop in here.
No, I love it. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, you provided a lot of value, a lot of things that I'm newer to it. And so it's nice
Yeah.
to have your experience and your feedback. And you covered things that I kind of forgot about, like just mentioning again, having options for people when you're sending them requests of
Mhm.
either, yes, I'm ready to leave a 5-star review, or no, I had an issue. And then if they
Yeah.
click the no, they're going to be prompted to just contact you, the business owner, directly and
Yeah.
hopefully avoid Google or actually leaving the review. It's like
Yeah.
not legal to completely, not let
Exactly.
them have the option, but we
Yeah.
do what we can to direct it to get their concerns
Yeah.
handled.
Yeah, we still have a button on there that it says, hey, thank you for submitting your feedback. If you'd like to direct it, if you'd still like to leave this comment on one of the platforms, you can do so by clicking here. So we are compliant with Google's regulations,
Okay.
but we just do that in order to try to remedy, give the business owner an opportunity to remedy it before it goes public.
Perfect. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, that's another thing too, working with geeks like us is like we are staying compliant with things because I know with all industries, you want to be compliant, you don't want to get in trouble. And so, yeah, finding out what you need to do, make sure all your ducks are in a row, it's important. So,
Yeah, and also with the FTC cracking down on certain industries with their advertising, you have to be careful how you post and use testimonials. Like if you're in like Ivan, if you're in an industry where, there's making money and investments and or coaching where you're helping people make money or business consulting or something like that, and you have a testimonial posted and they're like, hey, this person helped me make $100,000 in 3 days or something dramatic like that,
yeah,
you would not want to have that posted to your social media because it's not FTC compliant. The client can leave it as a testimony, like on the public facing, because you didn't do that, but you cannot use that for any sort of marketing purposes. Otherwise, you
makes a
run the
lot of
risk.
sense.
Yeah, you run the risk of having some FTC issues. I mean, even if it's something like, hey, I've been helped us, make a 10% increase in our portfolio in the last 5 years, even if it's something that is reasonable, you have to be super careful about promoting, marketing any sort of income claim type of thing, even if it's percentages or numbers or anything, you have to be super careful nowadays.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Reminds me of like, one of our clients might be getting, great results, but it doesn't mean those results are typical. So if you're
Hmm.
blasting it over everything, that might not look good and doesn't sound like it
Yeah.
would be compliant probably either. So
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to finesse it because they're cracking down on that sort of stuff. And no, the transparency is everything.
true. Okay, well, awesome. Yeah, I think we covered a lot and hopefully gave everybody a lot of value and a lot to think about. If you do want to review audits, go ahead and click the link in the description on YouTube and head over to my website and fill that out. Would love to help you with that. And I'm going to go ahead and stay for a little bit of Q&A for the people that are live. And we'll see you next week for another live episode.